Let's take a look. Three things that stood out in the Browns-Raiders game, and your first thing, that the defensive line's total domination.
Well, you had 10 sacks, and if you just look at this play, they're going to really cool pressure. They just bring 5, but just look at the penetration and look at the frantic in the backfield constantly doing. So the thing I notice about this is that not only D-line, but you can include that front 7. That front 7 played with their absolute hair on fire. And when you talk about what a quarterback does if they can make a couple big plays, is it excites everybody. And football is a team sport. And I've always said the quarterback gets too much blame, too much credit. But this is what can happen if you start making big plays on offense. And I don't care if he only completed 11 passes. A lot of the energy that the defense had is because the offense made some big plays, and that got the energy going. But this is just a sample of they dropped the D-ends, and they are just coming with their hair on fire. 10 sacks, almost 20 pressures. Geno Smith had no chance all night just because of the pressure, and he couldn't even get to the top of his drop. This defensive line is what won them the game, and that was my point about Shedeur. He didn't have to play great. You have to play whatever you got to do to win. This was protected defense. There will be a time if Shedeur's the quarterback, he's going to have to go win the game for him. This is the game you got to manage and make sure the defense doesn't have a short field, because this was as dominant as it gets at the NFL level.
Yeah, to your point, the 10 sacks were second most in franchise history. They had 11 back in 1984, just in case you're wondering. Point number 2, Sanders' key chunk plays and pushing the tempo. So take us through this one.
Once again, he had pace, tempo. This is his ability to make big plays, right? So he scrambles over here. There's an unblocked guy, did a nice job, throws an absolute strike. This is just making plays. And the thing you like about him is his ability to make plays under pressure. Now, sometimes he does this when he doesn't have to. And I think as a kid who grew up in a football house and a kid that seems really coachable, that's the one thing about both of these kids. They're very coachable, and they are super, super nice kids, is that he is going to get better at not leaving the pocket when he doesn't have to. This time, there's an unblocked blitzer. And the thing that's more impressive to me is not only does he get away from the unblocked blitzer, but he knows where it's coming from, which tells you he understands the coverage, the protection in front of him, and who is going to be the free hitter. That's most impressive, because then you can get away. And then his ability to throw. This is the gamer, right? This is the gunslinger. This is what he does very well. Getting Isaiah Bond, using that speed. First time you've seen that this year. First time you've seen Fan to catch the ball. So there's some things that happened yesterday that were awesome. And once again, you call it as you see it. Shedeur Sanders played pretty well, and the Browns won. Isn't that the name of the game? Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He played well. This is what he did well. These big chunk plays help the defense. It also makes you not have to be perfect on offense. Nice job by these guys on this particular play.
Yeah, and the other thing they did, and we'll talk about it a little bit next segment, they got the lead. So the defense could be even more aggressive because the Browns played with the lead for one of the few times this season. The point 3, and we talked a little bit about it, big time run after the catch from Fan and Sampson and the playmakers. And again, I think that goes to the play of the quarterback.
So you're going to see this check down to Fannin. This is a hard check down. Fannin's going to chip, and then he's going to release, and this is really good timing. And once again, you see where he can get it, where he can immediately run after catch. That's the same thing that happened on the Sampson swing pass for a touchdown. Now, these aren't great. These aren't masterful throws, and he's going to have to do things better down the field. But again, he did what he had to do in this particular game. It's the same thing I said about Dylan Gabriel against Miami. This is, you have to do what you have to do to win. The difference in this game is that he made a couple really nice throws down the field. This is a great throw. This is a great run after catch. He did this a couple times with Fannin, and obviously the Sampson pass. People don't understand that swing pass. You'll ask most quarterbacks. That's a really tough throw, especially when you haven't had a ton of reps, just because you don't know if the receiver's coming forward or backwards or flat. So just a really nice job, and these guys have proven that they can run with it if you get them the ball in space. Really nice job by Fannin, all these guys. I think Sampson showed what an explosive athlete he is as well.
Yeah, and it's catchable. There's enough touch on it that it's not going through there. It's allowing the playmaker to catch it, not have to redirect his body, and even that one, he can still be going forward when he catches it.
Well, I've watched every throw from Sanders' whole college career. He does not have a rifle arm. People have said that before, but what he has is he has a great anticipation and he has great accuracy. And you just said it best. He throws a very catchable football. So not only is the ball catchable, so it's easy for them to get their hands on, but he puts it in a place that they can run right after they get it. And that's elite accuracy. So he did a great job of that. And once again, if you look at some of those swing passes, if you throw the ball on time and you know where you're going with the football, just the release and how it gets there. If you go back to Joe Montana, which I'm aging myself here, but Joe Montana did not have a rifle arm. What he had was a very catchable ball that was really accurate that allowed Rice and Taylor to run with it. And I'm not by any means comparing him to Joe Montana, but just that the idea of the elite arm. You can only, if you don't have an elite arm, you better have elite anticipation. And that's what Shedeur Sanders has. So the things he needs to work on are there, but he made some plays and showed what he's capable of on Sunday.
Yeah, and he's got enough of an arm. Look at the throw we showed you earlier to Bond. That shows you he can make. If you can make that throw, you can make pretty much any throw that you're going to need in an NFL game.